Felix's house too, but they grabbed him, and nothing personal, but between the two of you, I won't go there. Anyway, okay. Was it just something that, again, not any...
No exposure coming up. I mean, we knew football at the house, but realistically, we never really watched any football at the house. We'd play outside with the neighbors, but it was very unorganized, not much of anything.
And not a lot of fun sometimes.
Oh, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I just didn't know what I was doing.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, if you're a lineman, sometimes, as I was, it's not a lot of fun when it gets organized. When you're just kind of playing in the park, it is fun to just kind of run around and be with your friends. Let's talk about Tanner. First of all, let's congratulate you on what has to be the coup of the century. I covered this past summer, the signing of your son, Tennessee Carranza, to attend college in the state of Alabama.
Yes,
now,
sir.
I mean that I've heard of things being pulled. That to me was the. And how is he doing back there? He's been back there
He's doing well. He's been there a week now. He had his first couple of practices this week, and he mentioned to me that his music teacher or his math teacher, one of the two,
starts with an M. Okay.
Yeah, one of the two said that she was from Tennessee. And as she is introducing herself, and then she says, "Is there anybody here from Tennessee?" And nobody raised her hand. And then she starts naming off the names. It's like, wait, your name's Tennessee, but you're not from Tennessee.
That's a great story. That's so yeah, well, at least he's getting he's not going to be hard to find on campus, right?
For sure. It's funny. His roommates, they before they met him and everything, they'd seen stuff on social media about each other and so forth, and they go, "Man, just by your name, we thought you were like 6'5", 250."
Oh, yeah. I guess if you would have grown up in Alabama with the name, you would be one real tough kid. Not that he's not, but he would be probably a little tougher. You are absolutely, positively correct. Okay. Have an older son? And where is Tristan still with what's the name of that team?
He's with Billings Mustangs now. He's actually currently, as we speak, he's playing. They're in the third inning. I think I was walking up. I was listening to the game. He was there in the third inning. He's playing second base tonight.
Okay, and going back to Tristan, of course, an outstanding baseball player at Brawley High, outstanding player at New Mexico State University, and signed pro contract, free agent, I believe.
Yeah, with the Diamondbacks right out of college, and then he got released during COVID.
Yeah, well, so did everybody else. They just stopped paying everybody. I don't think that technically qualifies for being released. They just stopped paying all the minor leaguers, didn't they?
Correct.
Pretty much?
I think they got rid of 65 minor leaguers or something that year for the Diamondbacks.
Okay, well, but he hooked on with an independent league team, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so he's still playing.
Chasing the dream.
Which you did.
Yeah.
Which you did for how many years?
I did 5 years.
Okay.
or 15 minutes, whatever you want to call it.
No. No, that was a fast cup of coffee. Did you get an espresso? Yeah. I think that would be called an espresso. Okay, talking with Pedro Carranza, Brawley High Wildcat varsity baseball coach. Been there now for...
23 years.
23 years. Wow. Okay, seems like...
Yesterday.
Covering you with Central and probably Little League back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And 23 years, and again, very successful. And for the second time, now Tristan, your oldest son, played football as a freshman.
Plays a freshman, got hurt in a passing league game his sophomore year, that summer of his freshman year, and that was kind of the end.
Okay,
he had surgery on his knee, and he just said, "I'll just stick to baseball."
Okay, yeah, all right. So, now you have Tennessee. And was there any, how did this come about with Tennessee coming out?
Tanner. Tennessee didn't want to play.
Tennessee did not want to play.
We tried to convince them. A couple of the coaches are good friends of mine, and Coach Van Diver and I tried to, bribe him to come out. Yeah, but he wouldn't.
He wouldn't know. He wanted no part of it. Okay. It's an acquired taste in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. And so Tanner decided to play, and it was strictly up to him. And, out of all my boys, he's the biggest, fastest, and at that point, strongest. So maybe he'll be able to help out sometime. before his career is over at Brawley.
Okay, and you only had the short season, and he was playing baseball.
Yep.
So this is really only his second season.
Yeah, this will be his second season because last year I think he was there for maybe a month or less than that.
Yeah, well, because your baseball started, and he's going to always, that choice is very, very understandable. And as you say, a good-sized young man, and apparently he likes it because it's quite a commitment.
Yeah, he enjoys the heck out of it. He's one that does not run from work, and he enjoys it. It's been a steep learning curve for him, though, to say the least.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of most of this team, and especially his class, which are suddenly now juniors after having an outstanding freshman season and everything blowing up, and now back as juniors, came off of the Pop Warner Mid-Valley, whatever it's called now, American Youth football program. So they all had, tons of game experience. And here comes Tanner. But, when you get out there, it's sometimes just how hard you're willing to hit or how hard you're willing to take a hit. And, that it's at a certain point becomes football. Tell us about him as a baseball player.
He's a hard worker. He's his future, in my opinion, is behind the plate. He can swing the bat a little bit. And a characteristic of him that I don't think very many people, unless you've been out to the game, really know about him is he's got an incredible arm. His arm strength is, you covered Tristan, and
yes,
and Tristan had cannon, and this kid's got a better one.
Okay.
I mean, Tristan was 97 from the outfield, 97 miles an hour from the outfield, and he plays catch with Tristan, and Tristan says, "Dad, he's throwing it just as far as I am, and he's on his heels. He's not even doing it correctly." So I tell him, why don't you fix it and tell him how to do it correctly?
So he needs to be coached up. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, sir. He's very raw. Raw is an understatement.
Okay. Well, no, but he's played Little League and everything else, right? How long has he been playing baseball?
Yeah, Tanner was he was in a unique situation. There really wasn't a travel team for him since he was 11. So he always played with Tennessee on that age group. So he always played 3 years up. So when he finally played the 13-year-old age group, parent in the stands, Tanner was having a really good day or maybe a real good tournament, and they go, "Dang, Tanner's killing it." And another parent who had seen Tennessee and him play and growing up, he goes, "Well, he's been playing 13U for 3 years now."
Yeah, this is his third year at the 13th. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, all right. This is one of the reasons why I didn't necessarily want to be outside, but we will talk over that. Talking with Pedro Carranza, getting ready for the Brawley High Wildcat Valley Center Jaguar football game, second preseason game for both teams. We're talking about Tanner, and we kind of branch a little bit. Other baseball players in the program.
Yeah, we have quite a few guys on the team from last year. The quarterback is a work in progress. I think he's going to be a good baseball player when it's all said and done.
We're talking about Ethan Gutierrez.
Ethan Gutierrez, yes. Mario Casares is also a young man that we look forward to having in the program. He's going to be a contributor. Aiden Torres, I believe he's been with us. I want to say he might even play a little bit as a freshman, so this will be his third year with us. He's, be a middle order bat, more than likely our starting shortstop and a pitcher. So there's a lot of talent out there, athletic talent that we hope to be able to reel in and help out on the baseball field.
Tap into. Okay, well, we are being serenaded, not by request, by the Valley Center Band, which is not much bigger than the Brawley Band, to be honest with you. I haven't seen the Brawley Band lately, but from what I recall, not pretty even-sized schools, and nice atmosphere. I'm looking over. I see that's the baseball field, I take it.
Yeah, we played there once. It's an interesting field. Interesting field of play. As I look at it,
it brings back memories. Not too good, maybe?
I think we won.
Okay. But you said it was interesting.
It's just that I don't feel so bad that the field that does not look very well kept.
Oh, okay. Hey, in this pandemic, I don't know. And then you put, of course, a drought on top of a pandemic. And, if anybody was working, they probably were told not to water anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
We will see how that goes. But it kind of pinched in over there on the left field side by St. Sebastian, I believe, Catholic Church. And then on the other side, not a lot of foul area. You got to pretty much put it. You foul it off, you're still up, right?
Yeah, you got a shot. You got life.
You're alive. You got a pulse, right?
Yes.
You have a pulse, and
yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger than ours. I want to say we're at least twice the size of that foul area.
Oh yeah, and it looks to me like is it a pretty good size in the outfield?
Yes,
though?
it's pretty good size up the middle, and I remember the wind didn't carry much to the left, but to the right it did.
I remember in the days of the population playoffs, I came up here to cover Imperial and Valley Center when they were both in Division 4.
I think you're right. I think there was a...
It was like a semifinal or something. It was a big one.
Yes, it was. I remember that.
It was a big one, and fortunately I was wearing a red shirt, so I was kind of accepted at the moment. And by Imperial, which is a good baseball program, and in the hands of a good friend of ours,
yes,
Javier Ramos.
Javier Ramos. He's my compadre. He is actually Tennessee's godfather.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I like Tristan's godfather, not Tennessee.
Oh, okay. All right. And, well, that's, hey, you can't have too many of the baseball gods forming over any one person. There's never enough.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Getting ready for the national anthem, and then we'll get ready for the football game. I'd like to thank Pedro for stopping by. I'm sure you got family over there. If not, you're welcome to kind of stay up here, and we'll get into the game here in a moment. And, it says we have 3 minutes and 24 seconds, so we'll see what that's all about. And in the meantime, I was talking about the Valley Center Brawley rivalry, and the coach, John Self, has been part of Brawley football since I was athletic director, 1993 or 4 season, I believe. They came in, 93, 94. And interestingly, Rob Gilster, who is the coach for Valley Center, and I'll start running down his CIF accolades. His first CIF game was with Orange Glen. Before this whole area, this was all ranches and whatnot out here. In 1990, he was coaching in Escondido and lost the 3A championship to John Shacklet and Morris High. So he has been at it since, probably before that, because very few coaches just kind of walk in and go to CIF championship, no matter how good you are. So he goes back away. Brawley and Valley Center go way back. When Valley Center was first built, they came, their first year in existence, we had a home and home. Valley Center came to Brawley because they were still finishing the campus and the football field and everything else to Warren Field. And the following year, we came up here. At that point in time, it was not even close. So they were a smaller school, Division 4. We were Division 3. So we kind of parted ways for a while. Played a couple of more random games when each team needed to help each other out. So, and Rob Gilster will, if you ask him, say Brawley, he will tell you plenty about Brawley. He knows it, likes it,
I'm friends with obviously some of the coaches on our staff, and I know that it's a big time rivalry. They very competitive, and they respect the coach here very, 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 very highly. And I think the respect is mutual. The game, I remember that game at Qualcomm, unbelievable.
That's the next time Rob Gilster shows up in a CIF championship game, and he is the number 4 seed in Division 3 in 2004. So it's kind of unheard of that not one of the 2 top seeds or the 2 top seeds did not make it in the old population days to Qualcomm, to the championship game, Coach. Then you add on top of that they played the number 3 team, and that was the Brawley High Wildcats. Rob, who defeated Brawley, of course, all of you remember that are true Wildcat fans, 39-36. Rob admitted he owed Brawley a huge favor he could probably never repay, because we knocked off number 2 St. Augustine, and we knocked off number one at that time, University of San Diego High School, now Cathedral Catholic.
And I believe that didn't they beat them earlier in the year? Had they beat Valley Center earlier in the year?
Yes, one of them, I think it was University of San Diego High, had beaten Valley Center, and we just kind of got in the middle of that train wreck. And it was a great game, 39-36.
Was that the fog game over at the Cathedral also that you're talking about?
I'm not sure about that one. The only fog game I remember clearly was at Madison, where we couldn't see the field, and we literally could not see the field. And Andy Burnett and I, my partner at the time, were bad enough when we could see the field. You'll find out. Okay. Okay, for some reason we are still counting down. What's the time? Okay, we have 1 minute officially, but we are going to have a couple of captains come out. A bit unusual, Coach. The junior, a captain. Usually it's, they try to reserve that for seniors. But you have a quote-unquote, three-year varsity starter in Ethan, and that shows you the respect he commands from the team. And then, of course, you have Isaiah Young. And, Isaiah's just a beast. He just walks in a room, and it's his. That's all there is to it.
I think Ethan he's earned that respect. He's been through a lot just in those 3 years.
Well, hey, great quote he gave me after last game when I told him you seem like he's just physically much bigger than when first time I interviewed him after a game. He was like a freshman, and he didn't know where he was or what he was doing. And he told me, he said, when I was a freshman, he said, I was just running around getting chased by adults. And one of the greatest lines of all time. And it's true. There were 19-year-olds chasing him around, and he was just, like 2 months out of Barbara Worth, And that's just something that, you don't see happen all that often.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a special one. He reminds me a lot of, my old catcher, Justin Baeza.
Oh, yeah. Yep, and speaking of 2004, Justin was the quarterback, of course, at Qualcomm. And I think over his career, maybe that year, it couldn't be that year. No, we never threw the ball that much. But over his career, he threw for 25 or 2,600 yards, which for a Brawley quarterback, besides, say, Rusty Garcia, who when Rusty played and I saw him, we just threw every play. Okay, that was all there was to it. But, since then, somebody lost the air pump, and Brawley does not throw the ball. We're doing it more this year. As you may have seen with our cameraman Lloyd right on the center of the field there, Valley Center won the toss and deferred, which is now the thing to do. And so they will receive in the second half. That's Brawley has done that for a long time. I don't know if there was a logic behind it. My logic behind it would simply be, if a team is coming back towards the end of the half, you do not want to give them the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know much about football, but I think I've been friends with Lawrence Landy for long enough to understand that thought process.
Okay.
They're starting here.
Okay, here we go. Okay, well, welcome back. And as my guest with me tonight is baseball coach Pedro Carranza, and after the anthem, we usually yell play ball, but not right here.
What do you yell? Let's get it on or what?
And nice rendition, you know. I think activities in general, for some reason, are suffering a little bit. Kids have too many gadgets. I think there's so many distractions in young people's lives these days, you know, that they hopefully, again, a school similar to Brawley, I think, in demographics. I would assume in this kind of looking around, I see a lot of boots, I see a lot of cowboy hats. Certainly makes it feel a little bit more like home.
Cattle call weekend.
Cattle call weekend. I'm sure they're down there for that. I would assume that. Okay, this is a very, as I mentioned in the pregame, Tom Ronco with Pedro Carranza, you're on webcast with Wildcat Broadcasting and The Desert Review on Facebook. Mentioned it's the third week on carpet, and we don't have any in the Valley. So this is an advantage come CIF time. You know, but it is also, they're all different.
Mr. Ronco, I was watching that first game and watched the second game. Actually, the first game I was in Utah. The second game I was in Alabama. And then today I'm here. But the turf, one thing that I don't know if our team has made the adjustment and gone to the other shorter cleat or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that when Tristan played in this stuff, it was always very difficult. He had to go away from actual spikes.
Yes.
He could not use metal spikes. He used something else, the plastic ones. And you mentioned the weather. When Tristan played at Texas Tech in the regional that year, I'm not sure if you remember, it was 132 on the carpet.
Oh, yeah. Well, this stuff reflects it. But the shadows are going down, and this will quickly. I can already feel it. You know, I'm already feeling 10 degrees, 20 degrees warmer, which I wouldn't necessarily right now in Brawley. We are ready for the kickoff. Back is Abarca and Camilo, and it's going to be Damian Abarca taking it, and he's going to kind of, I don't know. If you're going to get to the 20-yard line, you better run like you want to get there. He seemed to me to be kind of waiting for something to happen, and it didn't happen. And the Brawley High Wildcats will be starting from the 15-yard line. And we'll see how the game progresses from there. And again, Coach Pedro Carranza with us. And his son Tanner will be mostly for the start of the game on defense. They like to keep him fresh. And then we see as it progresses, he will be out there running in the fullback spot. Okay, on the 15-yard line, it's already some kind of, let's go, Brawley. Okay, now we got everybody out there. And a nice give to Isaiah. Isaiah Young will pick up 5 yards on the first play of the game.
You asked for the 20, you got the 20.
Yeah, well, I got it one play a little late, but you are absolutely right.
Eventually wrapped up by Tyler Hayes.
Okay.
2nd and 6.
Okay, Brawley starting out again on the 15-yard line. And we're just underway. Ethan Gutierrez is your quarterback. And now coming out to play wingback number 2, Daniel Camilo Jr. Brawley in the double wing, as you can see. So everybody in tight. With 2nd and 5, you assume we're going to run, but I wouldn't assume too much. And Valley Center assumed we were going to run and had enough folks there to kind of put a little kibosh on that one. I need to get my roster up here.
Isaiah Young, the ball carrier. Met by a host of Jaguars.
Yeah.
Dakota Toller and Malachi Tapia.
Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay, light's not taking effect yet, so somewhat in the shadows. 3rd and 5, and Ethan is going to give it to Isaiah Young, and while Brawley was able to get 5 yards on the first play, they do a bit of a cumbia and end up getting nowhere. So we got 5 + 0 + 0 equals P for a punt, and that brings on Tanner Carranza, who is a work in progress on this, right? He just started a couple of weeks ago.
Coach Self asked me, he goes, you think he could punt? And I go, well, he's pretty athletic, and I don't know. Try it.
And he's done well. And he needs a good boot here because the return man is on the 45. And he gets a good, nice high kick up, drives him back right to the 45 where we wanted him. And, nice cut. Oh, some bad tackling.
Our ball.
And the football is out. The football gets knocked out. And the Wildcats recover. Let's see who's down the bottom of the pile.
Tanner Carranza's punt fielded by Jake Dunkel. Ball comes loose.
And it's a Barca, I believe.
First and 10 at the 40.
Okay, I believe that was a Barca. And Wildcats. I kind of like the way the PA guy handled his name with the Carranza.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, they have respect up here. Hey, they know to roll their R's.
Yes, sir.
That's the way we do it. All right, now the Wildcats come out in the spread. That's a wide receiver and a slot on each side. Gutierrez in the shotgun. Lone back is Isaiah Young. And so we give it to Isaiah Young. Okay. This is, I guess, the feel-out part of the kind of like you're a pitcher and you go out there and you say, well, let's see what the curve's doing today, and you throw one and go, oh, that's breaking pretty good, and then
or go out there and see if they're gonna, pick off to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that would be one. Okay, so Young, who had 5 on his first carry, is now netted 0 in 3 more carries. Not good for your average, among other things. So the Wildcats will go back. This time they're going to go with trips. 3 wide receivers on the left, 1 on the bottom on the right, and not too many people to block. So Gutierrez may not have a lot of time, but he's going to take off, and he's going to have a nice open field tackle out there by number 15, by the way, for the Jaguars. But Ethan didn't seem to get a full head of steam going. When he comes out of the pocket, he's still looking till the last second to throw.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
He made a lot out of nothing.
Yeah. Is speed decent?
Yes, he's what we in athletics call quick. The speed is not what you would think until you get him in front of you and he's by you.
Okay, so he's sneaky fast.
Yes, very.
Okay, 3rd down and 5, and here's Gutierrez, and he's going to try to get outside, and wow, that's going to be just like a half a yard short. So decision time early for Coach John Self. I'm Tom Ronco on the Desert Review webcast of exciting 2021 Brawley High Wildcat football. With me, Coach Pedro Carranza, and
once again, right there, Ethan showed us what I talked about. That guy was right in front of him. Next thing you know, he was by him.
Yeah.
Got those
Nice little acceleration there. So Brawley's going to come up with a 4th and inches at midfield. And this is just inside the game. And I guess there's a philosophy, if you can't get an inch, you're not going to win anyway. And there goes Isaiah. Very nice read. Notice how he went down the line to see whether the tackle or the guard was going to be able to kick his man out. And it was the tackle. And that's...
he read it right. He got his AR points.
Yeah, you got to get it there. Let's give you that offensive line if I can. Brody Enders is not here tonight, so he's normally the tight end. Your right tackle is Julius Diaz. Your right guard is Jonathan Garcia. Your right tackle is Anthony Arriaga. And your left tackle, what happened to my left tackle? I got left defensive tackle. Your center is Brian Porras. Okay, here we go. Now, nice pitch. Trying to get Isaiah outside. And no tearaway jerseys at Brawley High. Billy Brewer can't afford them. So we get taken down.
We got an injury.
And
number 59.
2nd and 3 for the Wildcats.
Okay, 59 for the Brawley High Wildcats. Is that Brian? I believe, let's see, hold on, Porras. Okay, he's number 4 and he's number 52. 58 is, Claudio Angulo, who is out there. He's also the long snapper, so Tanner probably a little concerned about that injury.
Yeah.
Brawley with a second down now and about 3. Gutierrez out talking to people. Trips, 3 receivers on the left. Throws out a little screen and to Camilo. And Camilo coughs up the football. And they're going to give it to Valley Center. Oh no, Abarca. I'm sorry, number 2, Damian Abarca.
Fumble recovered for the Jaguars by Marlon Bender.
Okay, fumble. Okay, so Valley Center will try it now. And again, with pretty similar field position, they will start at their own 43-yard line. So the football gods giveth and the football gods taketh away. And here we go. With 5:20 to go in a fast-moving first quarter.
We'll see how this quarterback does. I heard they had 2 guys playing last week.
Okay, let me try to see. Oh, this is, I thought, okay, number 11. They used a number 20. I don't have a roster quite handy, but we'll get a name on that. And they try a run on first down. And
the ball carrier, tackled by Robert Platt for Brawley.
okay, Robert Platt on the tackle. And again, one of the teams that this is the, I don't know, new style where you don't come off the field. It's supposed to discourage substitutions, but we don't substitute much anyway. So that time up the middle, nice ankle tackle. Who's down the bottom?
72.
Number 72 for the Wildcats, Alan Carrillo. And the starters from last week to this week, Coach, show you the value of a scrimmage and a practice game. A lot of new faces out there on defense. And I'm not... okay, let's see what else happens. Tanner in the middle there?
At the end, left side.
Left side. Okay, okay.
Oh.
And, okay. And Isaiah takes issue with the fact that they scrambled for the ball and walks away. It's okay. You know? And you can almost say anything you want to on the umpire on your way back from home plate. As long as you don't turn around and look at him.
Then you're in trouble.
Then you're in trouble, because then it's on. And then it's on. Okay, so 3 and out for Valley Center. And we'll see what happens. Not writing anything down yet. Deep for the Wildcats appears to be
Number 2.
Number 2. That's Abarca.
I believe so.
And kind of a pooch kick. Oh,
my goodness.
You better get that ball. Oh, my. That was a muff, by the way. They should call that a muff. They should call that a muff. He never had possession of it.
Looked like it just slipped right through his hands.
It just went through his hands. Now, that's supposed to be a muff. And that means it would have gone where it first kind of went by the Brawley player. But apparently, they're not buying that up here. So we won't sell it anymore. And Brawley now with a, wow. With a muffed punt. And now they're at their own, 7-yard line?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, let's see what Ethan Gutierrez and the Wildcats come up with. They're in the wing tee, put the wing back in motion, but the give is inside to Isaiah, who's going to pick up a couple of hard-earned yards. Yeah, a couple of hard-earned yards in there.
Isaiah Young, the
down here, you're looking for 2 things. A couple of yards and 2 hands on the football. And Isaiah covers both. Isaiah covers both of those.
Yes,
3:43 to play here in the first quarter. We're at Valley Center High School in Valley Center, California. Although I wouldn't say we were in Valley Center. I think that's about 4 or 5 miles in either direction, but not anywhere close around here.
I think I passed 4 or 5 different high schools on the way here, so I'm really not sure where we're at.
Yeah, well, it's depending on how you came in. Yeah, it's not anywhere near. It's not anywhere close, but it's in the vicinity. So, okay, and here's Isaiah again.
Fights back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like.
So we're doing the cumbia again. A little bit forward and a little bit back.
Isaiah Young pushed backwards behind the line of scrimmage. Eventually brought down by Francisco Lucas. for the Jaguars. Third down.
Okay, looking for...
Got 3 wide to the left.
3 wide receivers, yep, trips and all in pretty tight. And here's Ethan, and Ethan keeps it, and a good move and a good spin, and that spin got the first down. So that's what they do. That's the option. He can pull it back if he wants to, and that time, he almost handed off to Valley Center, so he had no choice but to hold on to that football and try to move it on down the road a little bit, which he did.
And I've seen him do that over the last 2 years pretty well.
Yes. Let's see what we got here. Okie dokes. Okay, so the Wildcats get a first down and a set of downs, and now something went wrong. And we had the counter, as you could see. They've been running Isaiah inside, and they were that time going to veer out to the, and it's going to be a motion penalty against the Wildcats. And not starting the game out in a Phi Beta Kappa fashion.
Accidents involving teens. Stay safe, stay alert, and always be aware of your surroundings. Thanks to our farmers agent, Jeremy Clem, for bringing these important safety messages to our school.
We're sitting at a 1st and 15 now.
Yeah, and we are not necessarily built for that most times. Although, again, Ethan can throw the football. We saw that the last couple of weeks. Don't think we want to be throwing it down here unless we have to, although we are setting up that little wide receiver or wingback screen, as trips are now to Ethan's right instead of his left, and nobody but a tight end on the other side. Strong side, and here's Isaiah, and that's...
He gets 1.
He gets 1. Last week, he did the same. It had a little more success, I have to be honest with you, early in the game, Coach. And I just said, at one point, somebody's going to miss. And when they do,
he'll be gone.
He'll be gone. That's what you know. It's kind of like a guy with a big swing, you know. May strike out 2 times, but the 3rd time, he's going to lose it for you. And, you know, that hit it out of the yard. So that's how this
hard
goes.
In case you hit it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you are. Okay. Oh, on the carpet and then picked up.
Ooh.
And then
flag.
I think did Ethan get a shot? Oh no, face mask.
Pass is complete to McKay Washington. Flag on the play.
They're saying a face mask must have been somebody blocked and grabbed the face mask because they pointed at Brawley. So it'd be an offensive hands to the helmet is the technical term. And they are going to put the Wildcats, going to be half the distance to the goal. So we're going to go from 2nd and about 13, 14?
14.
Yep, to...
Against the offense.
And we're going to tack...
19, it looks like. It will be
Yep.
2nd and 19 from the 5.
5-yard line.
Yep, and they have to get out to the 29, so 24. So it'll be 24, yeah, right? No, they're on the 6, okay, 23. It's a lot. We'll just go with that. 48.7 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tom Runco with Coach Pedro Carranza. And they give it to, and everybody's coming after it. And I got a feeling Tanner's going to learn about lining up with his foot on the back line and not stepping back.
Somebody needs to explain that to him before he gets out there.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody, if they're not, they are amiss. I am sure someone should be talking to him right now and explaining that to him. Because as you say, that's
he's raw.
He's right. Not yet, but he's an intelligent young man. He'll figure it out. But you don't want him figuring it out on the field. Okay, somebody coming out and somebody coming in.
Tanner comes in.
Oh, Tanner's coming in. Okay, number 42. And he will line up in this kind of wingback slot and trying to get outside and almost breaking it. was Isaiah, and he knows he was like one step away.
Yeah, maybe that one step, and he would have taken it to the house, I think.
Okay, that is it for the first quarter, man, just like that. Brawley Wildcat football, 2021 style, brought to you on by the Desert Review on Facebook, live on Facebook, archived on YouTube. Okay, let's tell you that Wildcat football is being brought to you by Hart Insurance Centers in Brawley and El Centro, Johnny's Burritos in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial, and Brownies and the Town Pump, which we will explain later, is in the same building, but so it's kind of one and the same. Brownies for breakfast and lunch, Town Pump for dinner, but with the idea, again, as I've said before, that Gabe Revelar took the entire oven kitchen from the Town Pump and has recreated it at Brownies. So when you get there, it's not a steak thrown on the grill, it's a steak charbroiled the way they always have been. Okay, well, we'll get you some more sponsors here in a moment.
Excellent food at that.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yes, very good. Tom Ronco, Coach Pedro Carranza. And speaking of who, third male born is standing in the end zone waiting to punt. Tanner. And a kind of high snap. No rush there. Oh, and a boomer. And a fair catch. Oh, and not a very nice spin on the ball.
Yeah,
he got some air on that thing too.
He got some air and a little bit of distance. I'm not sure what a good punt is in high school, but that looked to go about.
That was an excellent punt in high school.
48 yards or so.
If you don't know what a good one is, you just saw it. Now you have a point of reference. And you'd been around this game, Brawley High, as much as I have. You'd seen some other ones that were like kind of blooper reels. But this one, that was a good one. Okay. So Brawley has to punt. And now Valley Center, again, with good field position, the Brawley 49.
Oh.
And right in. Kind of a miscommunication there, it looks like.
I think the center took his feet out from under him, from the quarterback.
Yeah, you played a little center. And when you see somebody right in front of you like that, you got a tendency to be leaning back a little bit, maybe moving a little bit, your feet moving faster than the ball, which doesn't do well. That's good for the Wildcats, though. It's a loss of 2 or 3, bringing up 2nd and 13. And now back in Jaguar territory, they're going to try to get outside, but not much luck there. And nice tackle underneath by 67.
It was a 4-yard gain
for the Brawley Wildcats. Okay, Bernie Bustamante, absolutely right, is in on the tackle. And suddenly, like that, it is 3rd and 9. And we will kind of see what the Wildcats want to do. Quarterback looks a little young. But we'll see. Strong side is the right side with the tight end who slips out. Pressure from the Wildcats, and the throw is no good. So Brawley came.
Number 21 on him.
Yep, number 21 came flying in, and that is Charlie Lai. Charlie's in on those situations. Plays, believe he and Tanner switch off?
Shoot, I don't know.
4th and 4 for the Jaguars.
Hold on, I can tell you. I got that. I wrote that down. I knew I would never remember. So let's just go look. Charlie, yeah. Yep. So 21 and 42, or 42 divided by 2.
So good thing we had 42 on the bench and 21 out there chasing him.
Yeah, no. Okay, and the kick is gonna.
We got a flag.
We got a flag. And the ball kind of goes dead. It looks like we're going to come back and do it again. Maybe it was a delay of game. That's what I'm going to think I'm going to see. Delay of game. I'd like to be the ref that just kind of stands back there over the flag. I like that. Okay, yeah, it's going to be delay a game or something. it should not change much, but it gives Brawley now a little bit of a chance perhaps to return it. But the way things, just like in baseball, Coach, you notice that first hop is always kind of normal, and then the second half is like, yeah, it's just something to do. So here we go again. Brawley looking like they're not going to return it. Not anybody deep unless it's extremely short. And nice punt, and they're going to let it. Okay, that time they didn't get quite the roll they wanted, so it'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats at the 20-yard line, which, everything considered, is not bad. Is not bad. So Brawley will get it on the 20-yard line. Wildcat football brought to you by Doc Barnitsky and Vision Care Center on Main Street. One World Beef Packers. Desert Review, Desert on the Desert Review. Desert RV, A&R Construction Company, The Man Company, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate, Clayton Drain Tile and Maintenance, and our good friend Carter Taylor at Lidco. So here we go with 10:18 to go, and Brawley now with its probably 4th possession. No score in the game. So far it's still in the feeling out process, as it were. And Ethan Gutierrez now has a normal set of downs. Pitches to the wingback. Nice stutter step that time.
Flag.
I believe by a Barca. Late flag comes flying in. Not sure what that's all about. Not quite sure.
Pitch to Daniel Camillo. Flag on the play.
It's a 5-yard penalty. So 2nd and 2. Wants to go back to 1st? No.
Okay, here we go. And Ethan Gutierrez has a man wide open, and that is going to be a Barca. A Barca coming out of the slot. Just that was on the 20, correct?
Yes, sir.
Gutierrez pass is complete to Damian Abarca. He's brought down by
No, it was on the 28, sorry.
1st and 10, the Wildcats.
On the 28th,
Yeah,
so...
we had the ball on the 28.
Okay, so that would be about 28, 26 yards. Okay, and now Brawley for the first time in Jaguar territory. And now with a little bit of a spread, trips on the right, lone receiver on the left. Again, everything being called kind of on the field, showing you where Ethan Gutierrez is. Oh, and they blitz, and he throws quickly and in and out of the hands of number 5 for the Brawley High Wildcats. And I always...
Gutierrez pass intended number 5.
I believe that's Washington.
I'm sorry?
Washington, I believe.
Yeah, Washington, but I can't always get his first name. McKay? Okay. All right. Well, I just actually shooting a text over to his father, Donnell, who will be with us at Indio as helping out. And that will be coming up on Thursday night. So if you're a Wildcat fan and you're watching this live, don't wait for Friday night and go watch somebody else. It will be Brawley at Indio because of the Coachella Valley Football Officials Association. We also have another game. Oh. Kind of read that one, I'll tell you. That was dangerous. Pass out there intended for number 6, Daniel Camilo. But they laid in wait, as they say.
Ball is tipped. Incomplete.
That's kind of like when the shortstop fakes like he's going to cover the base and the second baseman sneaks in behind you.
Exactly.
They come from everywhere. 9:06 to go. Brawley Wildcat football on the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting. Tom Ronco, Pedro Carranza, Lloyd Miller on the camera, Betty Miller doing the producing. So got ourselves a Wildcat coming together. Lights finally starting to take some effect Evening starting to cool off a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of a
feels nice,
burner
doesn't
today.
it?
There's Gutierrez, throws in the traffic, and coming up with the catch is number 17, I believe, Platt.
Robert Platt, I believe.
Yeah, Robert Platt, just a sophomore. And he comes across that middle, and he's not afraid and made a nice catch. Nice throw by Ethan in traffic, wouldn't you say, Coach?
Heck yes, I've seen that connection quite a bit in the last 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 games, sorry. That was a very nice toss.
Okay, well, you shouldn't be afraid then to try to nip a corner with a pitch, right?
No, sir.
All the other guy has is a bat. 8:22 to go. Brawley is going to punt, and here's Tanner Carranza. And they're going to, Tanner, a little too much leg on that one. But, again, this really rolls. So, you notice that Valley Center did not rush that at all.
No.
They wanted him to take his time and kick it as hard as he could.
To get it over the end zone.
Yeah, when there's nothing but 60 or 70 yards of real estate, then they're going to come after him to try to force him to get rid of it so he doesn't get air and bounce out of it.
Right.
That would be the strategy. Wildcat football brought to you by the Dom team, Doug and Andrew, for all your real estate needs. OK Rubber Tire Company, Jeff Klicka of Klicka Parker Insurance Company, and Jordan Central Implements, and Brawley, El Centro, and Indio. Also Ojeda Industries, 760 Mobile Detailing, and Casbro's Design Shop. And here goes Valley Center, again from the 20, and this time a nice run, and they are close to their first down of the game.
Breakthrough yardage for Lucas Sinoa before he's brought down by Aiden Torres.
A little extracurricular activity there at the end from number 2 from Valley Center.
Yeah, they're trying to be feisty, I'll tell you that. Brawley's not buying into it too much. And nice tackle by number 72 out there, getting down around the ankles.
We got another injured Wildcat.
That's Alan Carrillo. And I don't know if it's a hurt or a cramp, but that doesn't look like a cramp. You don't roll on a cramp. 77 for the Brawley Wildcats is Levangelist Pittman. He went down last week also. And Wildcats send over Coach Self and Coach Ray Van Diver. I don't know if Doc Fareed made it to the border last week. I'm not sure if there is a doctor in the house, so to speak. But he's up. He's not. We're not doing the how many fingers yet. But it's an ankle or something like that.
Yeah, doesn't look like we have a doctor here today.
No. Ankle braces, especially for linemen, just seem to be something that can help you kind of avoid that. Although it does cut down your lateral movement and everything else. So Levangelist Pittman is going out. Someone is coming in for him. Looks like number 74. That's Anthony Arriaga, who normally just plays offense. And Brawley beefs up. If you notice, Coach, they still have 3 down, but they're getting closer and closer, trying to stop the run.
Yeah.
And here we go, and that time they do. So on second and about 5 or 6,
they got 1.5
he got
on that.
one. He got 1, maybe 2. So make it 3rd and 4. 2nd and 4.
For the Jaguars.
Okay, big 3rd down play for the Wildcats. Defense pretty much set, and they're going to try a quick pass, and it's knocked down. That is not a free ball. Looks like number 72 might have got his hands on that. By Carrillo, yeah, and suddenly he's stepping into his own.
Yes, sir. That was a very nice play there.
And the punter comes out not looking too enthused about his job. 0-0 ball game, 7:08 to go. Brawley with the man deep at about the 35. That's Abarca.
Get away.
And he's, excuse me, that's Camilo. Camilo gets out of the way, but this guy practices here, so he kind of puts it right on the 14-yard line.
Yeah.
So not too tough with that.
Noticing that end of the field is really dark compared to everything else.
Yep.
First and 10 Wildcats.
My son's at Del Mar, and he says it's all over the place. It's all over the Del Mar racetrack. So we just noticed, we got a text from my son David, who is out at the where the surf meets the turf, and literally the turf is brand beef. Says the ads are all over the Del Mar racetrack. So
nice,
good, very good, and kind of world recognized. We got on an airplane, and there was one of the brands flying over to hook up people in Hawaii a couple years ago, so you will find it wherever you go. All right, this is Isaiah, I believe.
We got about 3 yards on that.
And he'll pick up about 3 on a 1st and 10 from the 14.
Gain of 3 for Isaiah Young before he's brought down by Phil Cotton.
And Brawley back to the 14. 6:30 to go. As you're noticing, again, the lights still not totally taking effect. And here's Ethan on the option, and he is going to pick up.
Looks like he may have gotten the first down.
He's going to be close.
Gutierrez with the keeper. Francisco Lucas with the tackle.
Nope, he's short.
He is going to be short a little bit. That time couldn't turn it up. But a good call because they are, again, packing it in on Isaiah. And so far, pretty much what you call caveman football. Except for the Wildcats have been able to complete a couple of passes, including a 28-yarder from Gutierrez to number 2, Damian Abarca. And Abarca now is split way wide to the left and out of trips. They're going to throw. Little tight end screen, get a block. You only need a yard. Does he get it?
He got it.
I believe he got it. Also kind of tackled by the helmet, Daniel Camilo. Yep.
But it's another set of downs for the Wildcats.
Okay. Okay. So the Wildcats again, I think, trying to hold on. One of the things they would like to do, of course, is to eat up the remainder of this half and go down and get some points. I'm not sure if we would see Jorge Jarro or not, our place kicker, but Brawley comes out again. And this time, here's Isaiah, and that's what we were waiting for. So what Brawley is doing, 4:51 to go.
You got about 12 on that.
Gain of 12.
First down for Brawley at their own 39-yard line.
And what they're doing by spreading out and throwing that little pass in the flat, doesn't look like it's doing much.
Opens up the middle.
But it opens up the middle, and we're trying to get Isaiah to get one step on anybody, and it will be, we played a very fast and very talented team last week, but I will tell you what, Isaiah blew by all of them once he got, could get his third step. Okay, 4:21 to go, clock is running. They put 23 in motion, that's Young, and Ethan tries to get around the corner, can't do it.
It's about 4.
Yep, nice blocking out there by number 6, I believe. That was Camilo leading the blocking. And again, not getting somebody's way. That's all, that's the rule. Get in somebody's way.
It's a 4, 2nd and 6.
Here come the Wildcats, 4:10 to play, 0-0 score. I haven't talked about the score much because there's not much to talk about yet. But it'll start sparking here one of these times. Ethan Gutierrez looks everything over. Again, has trips to the left. And is going to give it to...
Oh.
Wow, there was just nothing there. I don't know where all the linemen were going, but they forgot a few guys from the other team who promptly kind of crashed right into Isaiah. So with 3:50 to go, and again, a 0-0 game. So things have been moving along rather briskly and trying to get some plays in there. Calling the plays is offensive coordinator Brandon Young. Quite a baseball player. I'll tell you a baseball story about Brandon.
I've heard a lot of stories about him. He's one heck of an athlete.
Yeah, okay, we got trips again. And now I think Brawley took way too long. And there's a flag, so it's going to be 5 yards. I got to start calling timeout, and now the Wildcats do, but that's 5 yards too late. But they haven't moved the ball yet, so maybe they got it
They got it in time.
Just got it in time. Quick story on Brandon Young, who, of course, we've been talking about. I talked last week about how playing a team like Mater Dei gets you seen. And the short story is St. Mary's College came to Palm Springs High School to see a player, and they had seen on the tape against Brawley. But they also saw Brandon. And the other guy didn't show up for school that day, so they called me, I was the athletic director, and said, "Is Brandon Young in school?" And I said, "Of course he's in school. What are you talking about? If he wasn't, I'd go to his house and drag him in." And they told me who they were first, of course. And they said, "We want to talk to him." So I said, "Come on down." They had a scholarship. Brandon signed it.
Awesome.
Okay, 3 months later, we go to the big tournament in Yuma at the time, so hosted by Cibola High School. There was probably 16-team baseball team played at the old stadium.
At the complex there?
Yeah, at the complex. Well, yeah. And Brawley is set to play. And somebody points out to a bunch of scouts, or their guys with stopwatches and notepads, and they come over to me and they go, "You're the athletic director?" "Yes." They said, "Is Brandon Young here?" And I said, "No, he's not playing baseball." And they go, "Why not?" And I said, "Because he signed a football scholarship and he wants to, work on his football." Oh, nice catch over the middle. Holy Toledo. Nice throw. That is all about touch, Coach.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all about touch. You put it out there, you got to get it.
That's good to be.
Okay.
Ooh.
What is ineligible receiver downfield? What? These guys, yeah.
Ineligible receiver against the Wildcats.
That's on a pass that quick. That's a sketchy call. But anyway.
Home cooking?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Okay, 3:13 to go. 3:13 to go. And now we got trouble. Ethan picks it up. Ethan's got nowhere to go. And now he fumbles it. So, and that's a turf. Okay? Yep. That's what you got to get used to. When you are in trouble, you've got to cover the ball.
He's calling. Looked like this guy was calling that the ground caused the fumble, but maybe not.
Yeah, well, the ground did cause the fumble. It's the carpet that caused the fumble. Another Wildcat goes down. I don't know if they're clipping us or what. Chipping, you know what I mean? But we suddenly have, that's Dr. Fareed.
Yeah, I just saw him. Maybe just showed up. He does have a day job.
Wow. So a turnover by the Wildcats, that's their... Oh, he's ruled out. No, okay.
He was ruled down.
Okay. Now back to the Brandon story, and of course, the scouts
told... So is it third or fourth, though?
It's third down.
Then why are we punting if it's third?
They are a little confused.
Yeah, because the field has third, the scoreboard has fourth.
2:42 to go, and I believe...
Timeout, Jaguars.
Okay, Rob Gilsters, first of all, lecturing his assistant coaches, of which he has a plethora. Almost as many as you do, though. I got to admit.
I don't know. Let's see. 2, 4, 6. I think I got him beat by 1.
Yeah, I'm going to say count them down there, folks, if you're watching this, which you are, because you're listening to it. Tom Rodko, Pedro Carranza, Brawley High Wildcat football. The scouts, of course, said, hey, we've had a card on this kid for like a year. I kind of accosted our baseball coach at the time, Wild Bill D'Angelo, which is the only way I can describe him, which was not the thing to do before a game when he was not in the mood, which is most of the time, to be civil. So he kind of went off on him. But they were, and one of the scouts then came over and sat down with me. I remember he was from the Yankees. And he said, seriously, he said, as an AD, you need to go back and talk to this kid because he has, if he's as good as we think he's going to be, we're ready to sign him.
Yeah, that story reminds me of the Royce Freeman story. I had Royce before his freshman year in high school, and I already had people calling me about him, even though he didn't come to my high school. He played for me that summer. He was a special talent, and then same as Brandon.
Yes, yeah. And the funny thing is, colleges come offering you scholarships in football, but scouts come offering money. And a nice kick by Tanner. Look at that. Wow. Hey, and a missed tackle. And then,
we got one.
That's a nice tackle. That's number 24. I like that tackle. Did you like that one?
Yes, sir.
And again, the whole thing, that's Gilbert Corrales. I found out last week when we had Chandler Self helping me out that he's not known as Gilbert in Brawley. He's known as Tweety. And we mentioned it on the webcast, and after the game I talked to some of the parents, and one of the parents, who will go unmentioned, said to me, that kid played Little League for me for like 4 years. And he said, I just used to write T. I thought his name was Tweety.
That happens a lot as a coach, believe me. There's plenty of times where I'm sitting there and it's like, Garcia, I can't remember their first name.
2:29 to go, and a bomb, and a little bit of coverage out there by Daniel Camilo. Ball was probably uncatchable, but Daniel's going to have to learn to look back because referees live for that opportunity for a little bit of home cooking, which it would have been had he run into each other or something. If you're not looking for the ball, and you don't have a right to it. 2:25 to go, and again, now Valley Center was still in this kind of a semi-spread now. They're keeping more people in as Brawley tunes up the rush. And first completion, I believe, out there in the flat to number 4. He's their go-to guy. We came into the game knowing, I believe, 20 packs the mail, and or 22 it looks like. But number 4 is definitely the guy, and Camilo has drawn the tough coverage. And they're going to give it to, nice tackle. Nice tackle out there. Number 32 on the carry. Number 67 for the Brawley Wildcats. Okay, Bustamante in on the tackle. That's Bernie. I don't have a grade on him. Brawley gives out 2 things when you ask them for a roster. Name and a number. And the name is the only one that's guaranteed to be accurate.
Was it Tweety or Gilbert?
Yeah. Down the middle, in between. And now some help over there from the strong side safety. That's number 12 for the Brawley High Wildcats. That's called helping out, and you're gonna see more about that. That's Adin Torres, A-I-D-I-N. Aiden. Man, I taught a lot of these kids who's their parents. Spelling not the forte, okay? Spelling is not the forte. Aiden, you got it. Oh my God, it's like a quiz. All right, 1:38 to go. Back to pass, a throw looking for 4, and he escapes the tackle. At nothing, and he escapes another tackle. Wow. And Brawley cannot defend, and they cannot, at the moment, tackle. Remember, Valley Center deferred to start the game. And I told you that you don't want a team to catch momentum going into halftime and get the opening kick. And
Oh, we just jumped offside.
But nothing is called, so apparently they jump back. Now the Wildcats have decided that 11 might pick us apart. Oh no, 22. And now Rob Kilster is out on the field yelling at the referee. And the white hat has thrown a flag, and he's going to go over and give it his best posture, although he's given away a few inches, and I would assume a couple of pounds, but probably hasn't been years. Okay, got to always look for.
It's going to be interesting because where did that flag come from?
Okay. Unsportsmanlike conduct or some kind of a dead ball foul.
I think it was because the head coach jumped on the field.
Yeah, without calling timeout first.
And he was
I don't know that he has called timeout. And John Self is saying, wait a minute, did that guy call timeout? Because he's over there talking to his team, and my team's ready to play football. So another little bit of home cooking. Not necessarily something the referees had to tell him, but maybe they should have told him.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it. 1:19 to play. Tom Ronco, Pedro Carranza, glad you could join us. A&R Construction Company, proud to bring you Brawley Wildcat football on a Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting. Fry Chapel and Mortuary, The Man Company, Brant Beef, Casbro's Design Shop, 760 Mobile Detailing, Ojeda Industries, Hart Insurance Centers, Jordan Central Implement, Clicka Parker Insurance Company, OK Rubber Tire, Doug and Andrew Dom of the Dom team for all your real estate needs, Carter Taylor and Litco, Clayton Drain Tile, and Maintenance. Okay, 1:19 to go. And Brawley trying to hold back the Jaguars on a 2nd and 11. And here come the Wildcats, and he throws it away. Blind side, good pressure out there by number 17. And that again is the sophomore, Robert Platt. He made a nice catch against a modern day, and I was getting a quote from Ethan, and he was standing there, and he was looking at me like, you gonna ask me? You gonna ask me? And I looked at him, I said, you're a sophomore, I can't talk to you. And he kind of looked at me like what? I go, no. I go, you're a sophomore. I go, Self will not let me talk to you. And Coach Self. And sure enough, Coach Self walked by, and I said, can I talk to him? And he goes, heck no. And he kept walking. But I told him, if you score a touchdown, I have to talk to you. So I kind of tried to say, trying to slow down the Brawley rush, but the Wildcats do a good job of staying home. And I'll tell you what, this is a pretty even scrum. You notice?
Do they have a kicker?
And people getting a little bit testy.
Somebody's coming out to try to kick.
Yeah. Okay. It's what's called North County football in San Diego. No, John Self's father, John John, was a huge advocate at Poway of having kickers, and had a CIF game where his only points were a field goal. And he got it right away, led 3-0, and that was it. He lost 12-3. But a very, very important aspect of the game, and you want to practice it now. And that kid is up, and that kid is good. So a 23-yard field goal.
He had another 15-20 on that.
Yeah. Apparently not his best. So with 28 seconds to go before halftime, it is a 23 and 10, 13 and 10, 23-yard field goal. Oh no, and you got to give him 7 for the spot, right?
Yep.
So 17 and 30-yard field goal. Okay. And And Valley Center has jumped out to a 3-0 lead. And again, we'll get the second half kickoff. And Wildcats can hope for a return or something. Daniel Camilo Jr. and Damian Abarca are back there. And Coach Rob Gilster not happy about something. And I don't know if he's yelling at the ref, just want another shot at the refs while he has a couple of timeouts left. I like him. I like him. He's he could coach in Brawley. I like him. He's he and Bishop were something. I'll tell you that.
Those conversations had to have been interesting.
Well, when Gilster spoke before Bishop at the CIF dinner, I am told that they have the banquet for the coaches, to introduce them to a championship game. And Gilster went on and on about how we're the team from the up in the hills, and we're just trying to get respect and all this. Because it was his first CIF championship game at Valley Center. So John Bishop got up there and said, well, if he's the hillbilly of the San Diego section, meet Brawley. I'm the redheaded stepchild.
Sounds just like John.
So the two of them were fighting over who can claim to be disrespected the most. I'm telling you, a great guy. And here is that's not a live ball, but you better. Okay, the minute you picked it up, I'm not sure why they did that, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure. That's interesting. Okay. 27 seconds. So that took all of 1 second. Amazing, right? Okay.
It's the longest second.
Yeah, that's called home cooking. So there you go. Yeah, your strike zone's a trampoline. My strike zone's a mailbox, right? We are ready for that. We are ready for that. Okay, each team gets their own ball too. That has nothing to do with COVID, by the way, Coach. It's just the way it is.
I think that's one of the few things I did know.
Okay, yeah. So Ethan will probably take the ball no matter what you throw him because he'll think, I don't get another one. This is our ball. I got to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
Back to pass is Ethan, and he's going to take off and hold on to the rock. Okay, and that'll pad his stats and do little else. John Self calls timeout. And
looks like you got about 5 on that.
Okay, we're talking about Ethan Gutierrez in the pregame show with Coach Pedro Carranza, varsity baseball coach at Brawley High, among other duties, as assigned, as they like to say. And he just kind of pop up after football?
He's good friends with Tanner, and he mentioned last year as a freshman he wanted to come out, but he decided to go do track. And then last year, out of the blue, I get a phone call from Aiden Torres' dad. Says, "Hey, he'd like to come out and play. Were you allowed?" I go, "Of course, he can come out and try." Came out, and it was a pleasant surprise, to say the least. He went with us to another tournament in the summer, non-baseball, non-high school affiliated, but still the baseball team from the high school. And he really, really impressed some people. We played 5 games, played really, really well. We played in front of the Tampa Bay Race Scout team out of El Paso, Texas, and really impressed the scout and the coach on the other team on his abilities. So, he's got a little bit of a future in sports.
Okay, back to pass. He's going to get run around. He's going to just heave it up. Oh, and he's got kind of a man out there, but that's going to be intercepted. And that's going to go against his stats. But somebody better tackle that guy. And wow. They're lucky that he ran all over the place. And actually, he shouldn't have run all over the place. And if he would have just stopped maybe around the 30, he might